Augusta to do the Strzelecki Track.
There you go. It's way too early in the morning for my brain to work. I'm not a morning person.
No. I mean, yes you are.
But anyway, so we got up early, left Port Augusta. The plan is to leg it across the border to Queensland after we avoided Greater Adelaide because they had a few breakouts of COVID, and luckily we hadn't gone down in there, so we're just getting out of here, just going across to Queensland so we get there for Christmas.
Yeah, and we're doing it not entering New South Wales because I don't know, it's just so hit and miss with New South Wales whether they'll lock borders or not, so we're just like, nah, just do the Strzelecki Track, which is it's like 600 to 800 k's worth of dirt, I think.
Well, it's hard to know, but when you read the reviews and things, it's like they say there's a bit more bitumen than you think there is and whatever, but anyway, we'll give it a go.
Yeah, I mean, the Strzelecki Track isn't 600 to 800 k's, that's only like whatever, but all up to get across and to get back onto bitumen again. And everything, yeah, so anyway, it's all fun.
Yeah. So yeah, that's what we're doing. Might go back to sleep.
Yeah, me too.
So we've passed through Lyndhurst, and we've started on the track. There's a nice big sign at the start, but we were slack and forgot to actually video it, so Mark will just pop up a little photo now. We're looking forward to seeing some pelicans.
Yeah, I would not have thought there'd be pelicans in the middle of the outback.
Well, I don't know if it's a desert, whatever it is. Anyway, so we're about 15 k's in. What's that? Horses?
Yes.
Some horsies over there. They're nice looking too. Yeah. Look at the horses out the window.
There's a little baby one.
Yeah, that was a baby one. Anyway, it's beautiful bitumen so far. We did expect that because we had read reviews that the first 70 k's is bitumen, so it's all good.
Smoother sailing on bitumen.
Yeah. So it's 10 o'clock in the morning now, and we're hoping to get into Inaminka by about 5, past 5.
4 or 5 o'clock, something like that,
depending on toilet stops and lunchtime, but yeah. So far so good. We'll stop when we get to the dirt road and let the tyres down and just recheck the van, make sure we've prepared it all, turn on the pressure fan in the caravan just to try and cut down some of the dust, and then we'll be good to go. Alright, so we have hit the dirt part of the track, the first bit of dirt. It's about 72 k's in, so that's from the Lyndhurst end, and the road was well bitumised from there, so that was an easy drive. I think it all starts now. We're about 400 kilometres from Inaminka now, so we'll see how much of this is dirt. So I've just gone through to make sure that everything in the van is going to be alright, and we've got it set up as well as we can. So just rechecked all the cupboards, made sure that they were all locked properly, made sure the locks were on the fridge. As you might know if you've watched our previous episodes, we have had an issue with the lock on our fridge, so Mark's actually removed that now because it was actually breaking a part of the lock on the fridge door. So we've just got the fridge set up with these child locks on there, and they're all nicely secured on. So we've removed this piece here at the moment because it was breaking off this lock, so that needs to be rectified before it breaks that off altogether. So, and up comes another piece that's broken. Anyway, I take my knives down off here for these sort of tracks. All of the cupboards obviously are all locked. We've got the shelf rails in to make sure that nothing falls out of there onto our heads when we get back. Yeah, basically just making sure everything's locked, all the windows are all secured, that everything in the cupboard's all good. I do actually take down our fusion lock baskets that sit on here when we go on dirt roads because they have fallen off before as well. Not the actual suction parts, but it's like the basket parts kind of jiggle off and come off, and one of the baskets actually has split down the railing where you hang it onto the hook. So it's fine to hang it on there most of the time, but at that little split I just put in the actual clamp part that holds it onto the wall, and so it's fine. I probably could buy a new one, but it does the job. You know, making sure that I've locked all the bathroom up, locked the bathroom screen, taken toilet paper, all those normal things that you do as well. This door here can be a bit of an issue, and it quite often comes off its hinge, so it really needs a strap, I think, that secures around somewhere for travelling. Doesn't come with one, and we haven't really come across anything yet that's sufficient. So just locking that, making sure that's sort of locked down in the hope that it won't sort of slide or move around. The kids' towels are just drying here. That's how I dry them when we're traveling, because they just fall off these hooks that are up on the walls, and I think they'd fall off any sort of towel rail when we're traveling like this. But yeah, everything's pretty secure. I have had these open before, so I have put locks on those, and I use those on dirt roads, on both of those. So that's all good to go. The only other thing that I need to do is turn on the pressure fan, and I've already got that turned on at the wall, so I just have to turn on the 12-volt point here, and it'll come on, and you'll hear it when it comes on. It's pretty good. We've found on dirt roads we're not getting any dirt in our van, so it must be doing something right, because other people are getting dirt in their vans when they're traveling, so it's doing the right thing. And the only other thing that we do, we don't go taping up doors or anything. We've just got in between the two doors on the front here, where the vent is, we've just got a piece of foam that we wedge in between here, just where that vent in the door is. So that's in as well. But apart from that, everything's pretty much set and ready to go. So I'm just going to turn this fan on, so it's good. You can hear it, you can see what it's like. So you can certainly hear that, and yeah, it seems to go great guns. I was turned off for a sec because I'll show you what Mark's doing. This is a problem that we've had with the tap for a little while now. You know, it looks beautiful, but unfortunately it rattles loose, and that's just on bitumen. It's rattled loose there already this morning. So then it starts to leak around the bottom, and we can't go turning the pump or any other taps or anything on until Mark fixes it every time.
Sprays out and it's before it goes up.
And that's happened before the first time we noticed it. So he's actually going to take the whole tap handle or the whole tap head off today, just to try to avoid any more damage. We have claimed this on warranty, so hopefully we'll get a new tap for it, but it's probably just not a sturdy enough tap, I don't think, for an off-road caravan.
It's a good household tap though.
Yeah, it's pretty.
It looks really pretty.
I also do put a hair tie on there to hold that. Oh, you got it on a tissue box.
Yeah.
Just to hold that closed usually when we're travelling as well, just so it doesn't flick open, because it's been renowned for doing that. Which doesn't matter, because I've usually turned off the pump and the 12-volt, but sometimes there's water left in the line, or sometimes, thank you
Ow.
for hitting your head on my hand, sometimes it gets left on, the 12-volt, just by mistake. But anyway.
Yeah, it's all good.
So yeah, so we'll switch on this fan again before we go, and then we're ready to hit the dirt.
Alright, Kate's done the inside. Now I'm just going to do a bit of prep around the outside. What I always do with the toilet cassette is just get a dunny roll and stick it in there to sort of keep pressure up against the toilet, because these sort of just rattle around a bit on corrugations. So if you put that in there, tighten her up, and it keeps that bit of pressure on there. Should stop that poo cassette from bouncing around, because the last thing you want is when you open that up and it's half hanging out and there's nasties everywhere. So if you haven't emptied it, we've got a few number ones in there at the moment. So
and no doubt somebody will need to use it during the day today.
So
in the middle of
that's
nowhere.
a good thing that I've done and had success, and I know the other way because of that reason, if that makes sense. But anyway,
You learn.
so do that, and always just lock one of these locks of everything, just in case they rattle loose. You don't want that to pop open while you're on corrugations. So always just go around and lock one of the locks on. If they've got two locks, I just lock one of them, and then yeah, that way it stops them coming open. Just another thing we do is obviously just tyre pressures. When we go on corrugations, I drop these down to about 25 PSI. In the cruiser I run 25 at the front and about 30 at the back. It just depends. If you're feeling it still rough, drop it down another 5 or so. We just always do it after being burnt in the past by not dropping our tyre pressures down, thinking that'll be right. So we just always do it now. takes 5 minutes to do it, and then yeah, it might save you a sore back, broken pickle jar, or a busted caravan. Alright, so we're halfway along, stopped for lunch. How are we going, Mum? Any damage?
No, everything's perfect. Not even dust on the ground, so the fan's doing its job. The only thing is the blinds have come down a little bit, so you just want to make sure you pop them back up so it doesn't stretch the fabric in the blind.
And bounce around.
Yeah.
Even the Christmas decorations are staying up, that's always a good sign. Good blue tack, good quality blue tack. And
my drying rack of my towels, I've dried 2 out of 3 towels now, so.
The outside's pretty good. There's just a slight bit of the guard around the tap on the outside's just been smacked around with it with a few rocks, but it's just a bit of checker plate anyway. It's a bit of cheap nasty stuff, so pretty good.
Pretty good.
Tap's not leaking, that's good, see? It's not on there.
That'll do it.
Right, so about 200 k's in, I think, worth of dirt that we've done, so.
Yeah, we've got about 260 k's now to Lyndhurst.
Yeah, so another long stretch, but anyway, we'll get going.
We did see an interesting duo of cars, didn't we?
Yeah, we passed a Suzuki Swift and like a Mazda 323 or something like that. So
we'll probably pass them again. We'll film.
They were bouncing around, and yeah. So anyway, they'll have a.
They rattled past us here just before.
Yeah.
Looks like the bumper bar is going to fall off the front of the Swift or the what was the other one? The
Mazda.
Yeah.
Anyway, interesting choice of vehicle to tackle the track, but anyway, might be locals or something.
Yeah.
They know it, and anyway, interesting.
Cool. I'll look on the map here where we are.
Let's keep going. After we look at the map.
So we're probably about. I think we went past. No, we didn't go past that yet. So I think we're in here somewhere. We sort of turned and started coming up, so I think we're here somewhere.
A little bit to go.
There you go. Getting close. So weird as you're driving along how much the landscape changes. Before it was literally just rocks, hey?
Yeah, and like red, dirty rocks, that sort of stuff.
Yeah. And now it's like little sand hills in the middle of nowhere. Like to the point where I reckon the kids could get their boogie boards out and ride down some of them.
Yeah, it's very different.
Yeah.
Changing scenery. We just come into the lake air catchment, so maybe it's got something to do with the salt lake or whatever, because Lake Aire's
true.
biggest salt lake or whatever.
So yeah, it's just interesting. Interesting to see how everything's so different.
That just means there's another colour of dust that's going to go on the car and the caravan.
Yep.
Windy.
And this stuff sticks too, this white talc.
It's like talc.
Yeah. Anyway, just something else for Mark to clean off when we get to Brisbane.
Yeah. And you don't get chafing though.
True.
Perfect talc solution.
So here's our little one of our little travel buddies.
Yay, Swifty!
That is dedication, hey?
Oh, stuff that.
You gotta really want to get to where you're going, I think, to travel in that.
It's bouncy enough in this thing that's got full suspension, big tyre, all that sort of stuff set up for it. Just be shit. Good on him. Hey, get out there and explore. He's doing a good job, but geez, that'd be a rough old
My
ride.
guess it'd be someone local, like that lives around here or has done that before, because I don't know that you would have got this far into it if you were just going for a holiday. Or they really desperately want to get to Queensland before the borders open on Monday.
They're only going 20 k's an hour. It's going to take them 3 days just to get where we're going. That's crazy.
Yeah, so we overtook them earlier, stopped, had lunch, the kids all went to the toilet, had a run around, and then they kept going, and we've just gone past them again. So good on them, hey? And then up here we've got the other one by the look, and he may have his bonnet up. stop or not?
A few moments later.
Alright, well that answered all the surmising, didn't it?
Yeah. We
So-
did stop.
We stopped, yeah, and had a chat to them. They're overheated and they are English,
Yep.
and they are out here doing some cruising around Australia, and they were meant to be going to Uluru, but because the borders are closed to Northern Territory, which I don't think they are,
Yeah, I don't know.
anyway, someone told them this would be a great road for them to take to get to Queensland. So Mark's just, you know, giving them some pointers and
Yeah, they're not. Yeah, it's just the cars get a bit hot because they're going so slow.
yeah.
Not allowing enough air to go through to cool it down. So just we'll sort of help them out a bit. Hopefully they get to where they're going.
Yeah, I think she wasn't letting him drive any faster, but he's been told, well, she's been told now by someone who apparently knows what they're doing, so he might be able to drive a bit faster now. But anyway, good luck to them.
Yeah, good on them.
That sounds like a fun little trip.
They'll never forget it.
No, that's true. What does it say? Strzelecki Track. Are you on the Strzelecki Track?
Apparently. Looks just like a big old dirt track.
Yep, the old dirt track.
That's about it. Some bitumen on the way. That was good.
Yeah. There was a few patches of bitumen like just throughout. It was kind of 5 to 7 kilometre patches, weren't they?
Every 30 to 40 k's.
Yeah. And then a big patch at the end that they're working on as well, that they seem to be continuing on. The first half was a bit ordinary, wasn't it?
Yeah. So it was just bigger rocks and things like that.
Yeah, it was quite rocky, loose rocks and lots of clanging going on, but the second half was really good.
Yeah, it was almost like a highway. It was
Yeah.
silky smooth. So
It was like, I don't know, maybe they're managed by different councils or something, because it was just, yeah, really,
just chalk and cheese, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Complete opposite. So.
absolutely. But yeah, well, that's that. We've done the Strez track.
Say it again.
The
Strez. Strzelecki.
The Strzelecki Track. Okay, that was worth it.
Yeah. We saw 0 points of interest because we just want to get going
Yeah.
where we're going. There wasn't really much on there
I
either.
don't think there were many points of interest. No, it was good. So we're almost into Inaminka. We'll suss that out and we'll decide what we're going to do for tonight.
Yeah, might keep going.
Yeah.
Do another 100 k's or so into Queensland. Who knows?
Yeah,
Work
work
it out.
it out anyway. Asta, what does the sign out there say?
Welcome to Outback Queensland.
Ah, we made it! Woohoo!
Around the Queensland.
We made it into Queensland.
Done and dusted.
See, the sign says so.
In one day. That was long.
So it's taken us 12 hours and 10 minutes from the caravan park in Port Augusta to the South Australian Queensland border
With some stops.
on Adventure Way.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was stopping for lunch, a couple of toilet stops,
Yeah, things like
and
that.
ice cream in Inaminka. But yeah, how's that?
Awesome. So now we're just going to keep going for another little bit. It's still fairly light. It's only 5:30. And it'll
Well, it's
be,
now only 5 o'clock.
It'll be 5 o'clock in about 10 metres time.
And the driver's still happy to drive, so we
I've
might
just
as
had an
well-
ice cream. I'm good for another hour and a half.
We'll just go, yeah, we might just go another hour or so and then just find a little free camp to camp at for the night. But yeah, it was a pretty good effort. That's what we like to do. We like to get off early on the first day and just
punch
get out as
some
much
days,
of as much of the drive as you can, because you're fresh and ready to go.
That's it.
So we got the worst. Oh, I don't know if we got the worst of it done. We may have more. We got more dirt roads before we get to
Yeah.
civilization in Queensland. So we'll see how it goes tomorrow.
That's it.
But not bad for a first day, I reckon.
Yep.
Well done.
We'll have a beer soon.
Yep. Go find somewhere to camp, have a beer. I'm over gin.
Ooh.
And yeah, rest up for another big day tomorrow.
Let's do it.
Very exciting. Right, so we're in day 2 now, hey, of our travels from South Australia to Queensland.
Yeah. Made it into Queensland obviously last night. All good.
We forgot to say yesterday that
them as they got there. They hopped out of the car and everyone was hugging and high-fiving, so I think they were quite
They were
relieved.
cheering, I think. that they
Quite
were
relieved to
there.
get to somewhere that
They were doing this.
that sells, yeah, they're doing, that sells beer, so in fuel, so I
Yeah,
think they were happy with that.
and it wasn't a dirt road anymore. Anyway, so we came into the Queensland yesterday afternoon. We just got some livestock on the road up ahead here. We have come across so many cows
Yeah.
and horses and camels and emus, dingoes, lizards, and one dead kangaroo.
Yeah.
They're just everywhere out here, like, because it's early morning too. They're going everywhere. Oh, they don't know where they're going.
No, that one did a skid.
And then you got the old ones that are like, come on. Really?
There was one before that was a little bit slow and couldn't decide which way he wanted to go. He almost met the bull bar.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we got into Queensland yesterday, just stayed at just a gravel pit roadside stop last night, and we're up early again and we're heading towards
Thargomindah?
Thargomindah. I had it in my head, I'm like, I know how to say this, but I didn't. Heading towards Thargomindah, so we're only probably about 60 k's out of there now, and then just keep heading east. But yeah, it's been great. It's been bitumen all the way from
actually,
Winnemucca.
really surprised. So it's the Adventure Way has been bitumenized,
Yeah.
which is good. The
Yeah.
whole way we're like, I'm pretty sure. Oh, I always thought there was dirt, like another big chunk of dirt. But
Yeah. Well, it
it's
looks
all
like
been-
it on the maps and stuff, but we have been pleasantly surprised.
when you look at it on Google Maps, it looks like a dirt road because it's the dirt-coloured bitumen. It's
Yeah,
not black.
like that
it's
sandy coloured
Yeah.
bitumen.
So I was like, it's dirt. It's not.
Well, straight up it did for a while. It was that sandy colour.
Yeah.
So as soon as
Yeah,
Mark sort of scrolled through, saw that sandy colour, and went, oh, it goes to dirt there. But it's not. It is bitumen. So I'm guessing if it's bitumen now and it's bitumen all the way to
Thargomindah, yeah.
then it will
Should
be
be the whole
bitumen
way.
the rest of the way. So we're pretty happy about that.
Yeah, so we ended up doing about, 350 k's worth of dirt road.
About that, yeah. And that was just on the Strzelecki Track.
Yeah,
So
easy.
it's awesome. We would recommend going this way for anybody who
Yeah, it's heading
is trying to avoid
New South Wales.
New South Wales. Or if you're heading like northern Queensland or central Queensland or something like that, and you want to sort of cut down your amount of dark driving, kilometres travelled or whatever. So if you're heading like sort of into central Queensland, so yeah, all good.
Very good.
We shall continue on our way.
And we've pumped their tyres all back up, bar one, my compressor died, so
Hey.
had to find a servo and pump the last caravan tyre up. It's had a hard life, that compressor.
It has to work hard.
Good thing Christmas is only a couple of weeks away.
Yeah. Tell your kids.
Santa might bring it. A twin ARB compressor.
Alright, anyway, tag ARB in that one.
Yeah,
Alright, let's carry
I'll
on.
review it. So we're off to South Australia again.
Back to South Australia.
We're going to Brisbane and now we're going to South Australia.
Yep.
We're going to see our friends Mick and Emma.
Yeah. So we're going back down to South Australia, spend a week with some mates, and then continue on our way of where we were going.
Yeah, heading back across west.
Yeah. Alright, check that out.
It's called a car park.
It is a car park. Holy moly. Oh, that's a surf beach there. Surf
That's a
life-saving.
That's a
Wow. Cars everywhere.
That's whoa! Look at my
Whoa,
car.
check this out. I don't know if you can see that, but that is cars lined up for ages. Because this is awesome out here.
And Kingston is known for its gigantic lobster. Massive lobster on the way into town. Pretty much it's a town where you get a couple of places come into, so it's sort of like a centralised town if you're heading north, if you're heading south, or if you're coming from over the east. But yeah, this is what you see when you get here. Have a look at that, gigantic. Not Mick either. We're talking about the lobster. That's huge.
What was I gonna say? Shit, can't remember what I was gonna say. Gonna say something. before we start again.